If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Welcome back to Daybreak, a minute and a half now after the hour. Smiling gentleman with us this morning, looking straight at the cameras, is American Legion Post Commander John Hall, Post 45, and Dennis Murphy, Adjutant Chaplain, and one of the board members. Gentlemen, good morning to you both.
Good morning, Jim.
Good to have you with us, and some exciting news. And, John, we'll begin with you. When did we first begin to hear about the possibility of the National Guard Armory closing?
It was about 3 or 4 years ago, and the National Guard unit that was there, the tank division, moved to Columbiana, and they vacated the building for a little bit of time. And at that time, the building was empty, and they used it as a spare. In Alexander City, an MP company was having their house redone, for lack of a better term, and they used the Sylacauga National Guard post as a temporary house, and they have since gone back home to Alexander City. And at that time, the post became empty. When it did, they decided they weren't going to renew it because it was built a long time ago. And at the same time, as it emptied, it comes into the lack of use, so they terminated the use of the building as a National Guard armory.
Dennis, what does it mean to us here locally at Post 45?
It means we get a lot of history there. There's a lot of history from, I think about all the men that have served at our National Guard Armory. It's a big opportunity for the post. I mean, there's endless possibilities, and we're just at the infancy stages of it. And for one, I never thought the Armory would. Like I said, I thought that thing would be there. Well, the building's going to be there forever because it is built. I mean, it is a fortress, but endless possibilities.
Mm-hmm. John, some of the stories that could be told coming out of that building, that's a huge building.
It is. It's 12,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That's the big building alone, but then there's another building behind it. So there's actually 2 parcels there. They used it as a deployment area, and they have offices, and at one time they had a shooting range in there, and it's been since closed up, encapsulated to the fact of lead. So it's EPA compliant completely, and some renovations have been done. There's offices. There's an enormous area in the middle. I claim that I could go in with the motorhome and turn around without stopping. That's how big it is. But right now it's actually 4 walls and a roof.
That's all's in there, nothing in it.
Right. It's completely cleaned out, except for this wall structures.
Kitchen sink.
Kitchen
sink.
Everything but the kitchen sink. They left the sink for.
Dennis, you talked about some of the possibilities. What are some of those?
Basketball.
I guess y'all could sell that building, right?
We could, and that's the thing about it. It's the possibilities of we could, but it's up to our membership. I mean, naturally keep it, lease it out, or sell it. And the name on the wall for us is the American Legion. We have to go by the rules of the American Legion, and there's a process there. But the first part of that is what our members want. It's the members of American Legion Post 45 is what they want, and I'm in the position that I'll make my team, Army Commission team, is myself, Jerry Collins, and Bill Coker, and and the other trustees. I asked the members last night in our meeting to talk, to mill it over. Is this property worth keeping? Yes. Is it kind of expensive for the post? Yes, because we're a nonprofit. We're just a bunch of old guys up there. I mean, and
He's the youngest of the group, by the way.
no, I'm not. They are some. There's a couple 40-year-olds. Joseph Epson.
He's one of the.
Well, yeah. But our age group, our medium is 77.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, we've had a lot of, histories abound up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have our veterans all veterans breakfast on Tuesday mornings, which is, you should come. I mean, we're inviting you now. You can come up there.
I've been to them before.
Oh, yeah. So, it's just I think it's a good opportunity for the citizens of this area. I mean, a church could go in there easily. The rec, I know the rec is really busy with a church and gymnastics and stuff, and maybe we could go that route, or there's maybe a YMCA thing, or there's endless possibilities now. But I would like to see the citizens of this area benefit from us, because the American Legion is all about, we served our country, but we want to serve the city as well.
Now, John, being a nonprofit means that we need money. We can use money.
Yes.
And this is a great opportunity for the post-45.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the meetings the meeting we had last night was actually the announcement to the gang. And the group, we told everybody that the National Guard now belongs to the American Legion. And the concept is everybody thinks it belongs to the city. Well, in 1946, it was deeded to the National Guard of Alabama, with a stipulation that when they stopped using it, it came back to the American Legion. So it's always been American Legion property. When they stop using it, of course, it reverts back to us. And that what we made last night was a description or a disclosure of the fact that, hey guys, this is ours now. What are we going to do with it? How best can we serve it?
Now the key thing is, we gave them 3 acres of land, and we got 3 acres back. We gave them 3 acres, and we got the 3 back. It just so happened that there's a 12,000 square foot building and a 6,800
on those 3 acres.
On the 3 acres with a fence, and so yeah, that's that's how the deed.
You got the actual deed.
I got
here.
the deed right here, and the governor signed it last week. And charming lady, I tell you, she was very charming when she signed this, and she spoke really high of Sylacauga. So yeah, wow. I mean, I'm lost at words, but then again, we are a nonprofit organization. We don't have a lot of money.
How much is a property worth? Have you had it appraised or anything?
Tax purposes, it's well over $700,000.
Wow!
And that's just for the front.
And yeah, that's we're the Armory Commission was tax exempt. We're a 501c19. We're the same status, and there's a little hiccup now because our probate people hadn't seen anything like this before. I mean, even the Army people hadn't seen anything because their process is, when they close an army, they would offer it to the municipality. But these guys in 1946, our guys in Sylacauga wrote, when the site is no longer, when the property is no longer used as an armory, it reverts back to post-45.
They were thinking ahead, weren't they?
I mean, our guys from Sylacauga in 46, I mean, were some pretty smart guys, because the Post gets it back, and talking to the people down in Montgomery, they were like, wow.
And John, you don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
We talked to the Army National Guard Armory Commission, Mr. Mark Weeks, or Colonel Mark Weeks, right? Yeah. And he'd never seen it, because most of the time the armories are on city property or private property for that matter. And there's never been a situation where it's been loaned to the National Guard. So this is all new territory. And I want to congratulate Dennis. He's been 200 or 300 hours involved in this communication back and forth. But what it is there's a crew of 3, the team, and it's Dennis, Bill, and Jerry. And Dennis is the chairperson of the group, and they are the Army Committee off the American Legion.
But it's a total vote.
It will
from the
be,
membership, is that correct?
Remember, we'll make a recommendation, but in that recommendation, I welcome the members.
How many members are there?
We have 88.
Okay.
We have 88 members in good standing. There's
Both y'all in good standing, aren't you?
No.
Yeah. We've got some folks out there that are have been past members, and I encourage them to come back and become a member in good standing. That's basically paying your dues.
Why do y'all do what you do? I mean, you veteran, you serve your country.
Brotherhood.
And here you are later in life, and you're still on the front lines, just in a different place.
It's just a different place. It's citizenship, and I encourage, a lot of times when somebody runs up to me and says, well, thank you for your service, and I'm a little bit, I kind of throws them back. And so I'll come back, I says, well, thank you for being a patriot. I mean, we're veterans, yes, but I value a patriot nowadays a lot, not over a veteran, but a veteran patriot. But we have, there's a kid, I call him a kid, he came up there yesterday and he's organizing something, a Veterans Day program, John Wesson. And the kid was really a patriot. I mean, I was really amazed that a guy like that is sincere about doing something for veterans. And I was, go for it.
Where do we go next for this?
We go next to, we have the building inspected for structural security. Then while we have planted the seed, so the members will think about what we're going to do, but we've got to pave the road ahead of it. And we've got to have the building inspected. We have to have liability insurance in place for, in case. We have to decide as a group what do we want to do with it. And then at that time, we have to figure out how we're going to do what the bidding of the group is. So it's a process that has to be taken care of. We have a choice: keep it, sell it, lease it, whatever, and then the fact is it's a phenomenal area. I mean, it's just, you walk in the door and it's but it's been used and abused. Case in point, the back building has been closed up for years. And Dennis and I went in there, and it was like getting hit with a wet sock because it was so moist in there.
Yeah.
There's a wall, Jimmy Dale, that's full of manuals for the motor vehicles. And they've all been moistened and stuff like that, but they're savable. But so what we did is we opened the doors.
The history there of these, I'm a Navy guy. I have no idea about the Army. I mean, we're both squids, so
Yeah.
it's a lot of history there. There's a lot of and people of this area, our fathers, our grandfathers were up there. And
I'm assuming without naming names, y'all have already had some organizations and groups to inquire about the building.
It's funny because the people have, when they found out the building was vacant, they thought it was the city's. So they're talking to the mayor and things about finding out about that. So it's a different avenue to go down. With the Dennis has been the committee chairman, so he's been receiving most of the inquiries.
I've got some very interesting inquiries about it.
I bet.
But I was totally honest with everybody. I says, yes, we are getting the building, but I don't have it yet, so I really didn't have anything to tell them.
So officially, it is post 45 now.
Yes,
That's a Friday afternoon.
Friday when the governor.
Yeah.
She's it's ours, and it's just really daunting. Then I go up there and that this facility is right there on Fort Williams.
Some history of this. It's been kind of a staging area for troops that have gone off to here and there.
Well, remember back when the group went to Iraq, Afghanistan, and they just left. Well, when they came back, the city stopped to salute those guys as they came back down at Legion Field. And those guys, well, I don't know how many, but the guys that went over there for the 6-month tour, a lot of them came back with Purple Hearts. And it's the history. And the National Guard has protected the country from this point in Sylacauga. So it's a start.
Like Tony Mitchell just passed away last month. He was actually the National Guard commander up there, and so was his son, Mike, was also a commander there. And Mike just retired from the Alabama National Guard as the 2-star general of Alabama National Guard. I think about a good friend of yours, Ed Jenkins.
Oh, yeah.
I think about like people like R.C. Wakefield,
Jerry Walker,
Howard Ellington.
I mean, a lot of guys that are gone, but I just think the great Americans that have served there. I mean, and this is a facility that's potentially could benefit their descendants for years.
It's a huge responsibility on the shoulders of you guys to make sure that we do this right.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right.
And it is. It's oh man, it's kind of overwhelming at times, but it's like my grandfather George Doss. He was an American Legionnaire, and one of my first memories that I think when I was a child is my grandmother telling George to get out of that's the other thing. Post 45 is no longer a bar. At
one time it was a honky tonk, and
I remember that too.
the stigma attached to it is basic. But I kind of brag about this. There is nothing we do up there in the white building that you can't bring your children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, wife, whatever. There's no smoking inside the building. There is no drinking inside the building in any way, shape, or form, right? The language is supposed to be perfect, right? And you'd be surprised the fellowship that goes in there. So we're preserving the fellowship, the brotherhood of the soldier, the sailor, the Marine, the Air Force, Coast Guard. We're all together, but as we walk through the door, we're all one, all right? And our task is to preserve this and preserve the guys and help the guys. Now, we've got this big building, and our task, again, is to preserve it and keep the memories alive, because that building's going to stay there for longer than I'm going to be.
Do we expect a vote this year, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Soon.
Real soon, because it is, the one thing is, for just sitting there with utilities on, is, I think it's
that's a cost, that's for sure.
Now, when the Army wasn't there, the utilities bill was running like $500. But when they were there like 2 weeks out of the month, it averaged anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. I mean, we're talking about the old style male restroom, and we're talking about 6 foot long unit on the wall, urinals, and we do have a ladies' room, and there's one in the ladies' room.
They have a trough in the ladies' room, which we find humorous, but there's no shower facilities. But it does need, the building needs work.
A little work.
Whoever decides they want to talk to us about it, we're always welcome.
There's so much potential up there.
Think of the men who have
exactly.
laid their head on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean,
getting an hour or two sleep, maybe.
I know our unit up there deployed for the Cuban Missile Crisis. I mean, 1960s, the Berlin Wall. I mean, our units, the unit from Sylacauga deployed for that. Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam. The majority of our members of Post 45 are Vietnam vets, and there's it's
Except for him, he's a baby, so he doesn't really.
Well, I was in middle school. Okay, give me that. I mean, come on.
We could talk forever
Yes.
about this, but if you wanted to make a couple of points this morning to the viewing audience, what would it be?
Cricket.
We have the elephant in the room, I guess you'd say. Everyone knows about it. Well, we've started taking care of it because we cut the grass yesterday, and it looks a little bit more presentable. The thing is, we're going to preserve the presence of that building, and our objective is to find the best use for it. Yeah. And it's a financial extravaganza kind of situation for us. So we've determined that it's best for us to find someone who loves it as much as we do and utilizes it in the way it's supposed to be. So what happened yesterday is the formal announcement to the guys first, and now here, is that the National Guard Armory belonged in Sylacauga. It belongs to a group in Sylacauga who are thinking best for the city, and therefore we're going to look and hear people. Hey, I got this idea, or listen, would you lease it to us? Or could we? Well, the problem is we can't let people come in and just say, I want to use it for a wrestling match. Right. We have to have something incorporated for long term. Yeah, and then we pay the utilities. We upgrade to,
Dennis, it's a great opportunity before us.
It is. It's a great opportunity. Yes, it is. I mean,
it's never happened to anybody before. I mean, think about it. Yeah. It's like, we're going to give you this building. What do you want to do with it? So I mean, that's exactly what happened. Here it is. What do you want to do with it? We want to do what's best for all involved.
All right. So before we go this morning, if this is a statewide show, so if there are people from other parts of the state of Alabama or even in this local area that need more information on this and the process, what do they need to do?
I would suggest you write a letter and Post Office Box 2514, Sylacauga, and that way we'd have communication established, and that way it won't tie up telephone lines, it won't take over your phone again. So if you mail something, if you have an inquiry, Box 2514, Sylacauga, 35150. That's,
can you email it, or is it just better to do?
We're trying to get Wi-Fi up there, but at this point we are having a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
But for now we have to use snail mail.
All right, guys, we got to go. Thank you both for your service to our country.
Thank you for being a patriot.
And God bless America.
Commander, Post 45, American Legion John Hall, and Adjutant and Chaplain Dennis Murphy of Post 45 sharing with us this morning about the National Guard building reverting back to Post 45, and we expect great things out of it. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming this morning, and Godspeed to you.
Thank you.
Amen.